So we're ready. Welcome, everyone. I have delayed this for a very long time. I'm so sorry, but I'm back. I am back with the tea on Tuesday. Now, if you're just following me and you haven't been a part of my lives in the past on Tuesdays, the tea on Tuesday stands for trading equities analysis every Tuesday. So, in a nutshell, what that means is if you're interested in investing in the US stock market, I basically go line by line with you, researching different stocks or different equities that you might want to invest in order to make some money on the stock market. So basically, as you're doing your homework and your research with me, you're also learning how to do this by yourself. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, because I do put this on YouTube after I go live on Instagram, please make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell notification icon so that you get an alert when these videos get uploaded, and then you can watch along on YouTube. For those of you on Instagram, I am going to put, on YouTube, I'm going to put a screen share of the research that I was doing while I was talking with you, so you can see it, because I can't show my screen on IG Live, but I can on YouTube. So when I do the editing, I'll just do a screen share, I'll put it in so you can see what I'm seeing on my computer screen. But you'll just have to listen to me on Instagram as I go through the research. Okay, so let's get started. The tea. So the tea for today is we're going to talk about ethical stocks. So how do we find stocks or companies that we don't feel guilty about investing in? And the reason why I decided to do this topic, and you can put in the chat also if you have any strong opinions about this, but the reason why I chose this topic is because we have a lot of conversations recently about different causes that people say they care about, whether we believe them or not. There's been a lot of brands and companies who have been aligning with different kind of movements. I'll just say them. I hope that you guys don't get turned off because, some people have different political views. But just to name a couple, you've had people talk about the Black Lives Matter movement in their marketing, for example, right? You've had companies talk about the Me Too movement, so making sure that women's needs are met in the workplace, that they feel safe in the workplace. There's also like a sister thing called Time's Up. So basically, the long story short is that there are a lot of companies that are trying to prove to both their investors, and that's you, by the way. Every time you buy a stock in the stock market, you are an investor in that company. Just wanted to make sure everything is okay. Okay. Every time you buy a stock in a company, you are now an investor in that company. So companies are caring more about how investors think about their brand, like whether or not they are doing good in the world and not just making money. So if that's something that's important to you, put a thumbs up in the chat. But I am going to show you how you can figure out which companies that you can truly trust and invest in if you care about ethical companies and care about companies that are supporting ethical causes. All right? All right. So let's get started. And welcome to everybody joining in. Sorry, I usually wave to everybody so you know that I see you. I was just getting distracted as I was setting up my sound. Okay, so the beginning of my research, I literally just did a Google search. Now, one piece of advice that I don't think I've talked a lot about in any of my videos or even in my Instagram lives is that when you want to know what's going on with a company before you invest in them, the easiest, quickest way to get detailed information about that without doing too much work is to use Google Alerts. So Google Alerts is literally if you type into Google, which is funny, you're going to type into Google, Google Alerts, ALERTS. And when you do that, you'll get taken to a website where you can connect news stories about a specific company or a specific topic that you care about directly to your email. So like, for example, if there's a company that I'm going to mention today that you want to make sure that you're keeping track of them and you want to know, okay, when, excuse me, when are they going to sign this major partnership deal with another company? Because that might be a sign that I want to invest in them now. Google will send an alert directly to your email, letting you know that, guess what, this is happening now. So now then you don't have to do all the research by yourself because Google is doing it for you. And I love that feature. I do it even now, even though I'm investing full time. And I guess I have the time to sit down and actually research, but I want to make my life easier. So I use Google Alerts. I'm a huge fan. If you've never used Google Alerts, make sure you use it right now. Again, if you go to my YouTube channel later tomorrow, you will see a screenshot of how Google Alerts works so that you can see how to sign up for it for any of these stocks that you're invested in or interested in investing in. So the first thing I did was go to Google, like I said. And when Google has brought up some companies that they claim are ethical stocks to invest in. However, we're going to work together and do some deeper research and see if we believe that or not. So let's just name a couple because I'm actually surprised that some of these names are coming up. So, sorry guys, I'm in a co-working space. So I just want to make sure that no one's disturbing me. Colgate. I think this is a brand that a lot of the people who follow me would know about because I have people who live in the US and also a lot of you live in Africa. So Colgate, the toothpaste, the thing that you use to brush your teeth, or the company that makes the things that you use to brush your teeth. Surprisingly, and I don't know why this is surprising to me, I never would have imagined that they care a lot about ethical causes or have a good reputation with that. But Colgate Palmolive is coming up as one of the companies. Keep that in. If you're making a list right now as you're listening to me, just write that down as one of your things. But we're going to research it in a second. Ecolab, I have heard of them. They come up too as a ethical company. So that, again, if you care about investing in a company that supports social causes that you care about, Ecolab is one of them. We're going to research and see which ones exactly that they support. I'm trying to say the ones that you might know if I name them, but sometimes it's good to learn some new companies. So we have International Paper. I feel like I've heard of them, and I'm almost positive that it has something to do with climate change or the environment. So again, if that's something that you care about and you want to make sure that even though you're making money in the stock market investing in this company, you also want to make sure that they are doing good things for the environment. International Paper might be one for you. And then the last one I'm going to list, and before we start doing our research together, is Kimberly-Clark. Kimberly-Clark is an umbrella company, kind of like Colgate Palmolive, that has different products underneath it. It's different household products or items that people buy on a daily basis, and they probably don't realize that Kimberly-Clark is the company behind it that's making it. Okay, so while I do this, because I'm making a lot of assumptions about what is important to you, but while I'm doing this, if you can type into the chat, and maybe I'll pin this as a comment, type into the chat what is actually important to you when it comes to investing in a company. But let's begin. Let's do some research. So I am very curious because they're a major brand internationally, both in America, both in the Caribbean, both in Africa. So I'm actually really curious to know what Colgate Palmolive is doing that makes it a ethical stock to invest in, or a company that's doing good. I see a comment about cryptocurrency, and I love the excitement around cryptocurrency. I know that that's something that everybody is talking about. If you are interested in some of the thoughts that I've shared in the past about crypto investments, go to the link in my bio, or if you're watching on YouTube, go to my website, which will be linked in the description box. I have a blog where I actually wrote a post recently about NFTs. So if crypto is something that you're really interested in, we're not going to talk about it today in this video, but I did write a blog post about NFTs. So you can go to my blog whenever you're ready, and you can read that article to get some thoughts. Okay? All right. So we're going to do some research on Colgate Palmolive. So usually when I am doing my due diligence, is what I call it, my due diligence research or my homework on these Tea on Tuesdays or just in general, the first thing that I go to is to see what the hedge funds are doing. And let me explain the reason why. The reason why I go to see what the hedge funds are doing is because they have lots and lots of capital to invest in the stock market. So usually whatever they decide to do is usually what is going to drive whether a stock price goes up or down, and will decide whether or not you make money off of a certain stock or not. So usually when I'm doing this research, the first thing I look up is, are hedge funds putting more money into this, or are they significantly taking money out and trying to get away from it? In this case, it's not the most important, depending on what you care about, because again, hedge funds, for the most part, don't make no generalizations, but for the most part, hedge funds are just trying to make as much money as possible for their clients. So clients give them a certain amount of money and they tell them, listen, I want X amount of money return on my investment. When I give you this money, make sure you do it. And so it's their job to make sure that they make their clients the amount of money that they requested. One of the things that we could do as we're doing this research and figuring out what Colgate Palmolive is all about and if they're ethical, is see what kind of hedge funds are investing in them and see if these hedge funds have a track record of investing specifically in socially conscious companies or companies that care about specific social causes. So let's do that. So to do that, I would normally go to I have a TD Ameritrade account. I don't know if that's the brokerage firm that you are using to do your investments, but I highly recommend it if you're if you're not using TD Ameritrade. I really, really love them. There's another website that's, I don't know why it's showing it blank. So let's just go to TD Ameritrade, shall we? All right, so I'm going to open up my TD Ameritrade account right now. Give me one moment. And remember, if there's anything in particular that you're interested in knowing about the specific companies that I listed, please let me know in the chat. So we're in TD Ameritrade right now, and we're going to type in Colgate Palmolive. So what you would do is literally just go to the search bar. You can search symbols, or you can just type in the name of the company, and it should come up. So the ticker symbol, the symbol that you would need to find the company Colgate Palmolive is CL. So I'm opening it right now. The company is trading at $75.34 right now, which means it will cost you at minimum $75.34 to get one share of this company's stock. Normally, when I'm trading, I buy 100 shares because of the strategy that I use for investing. If you don't know what strategy I'm talking about, you should go to my YouTube channel and watch 5 Steps to Making $1,000 a Week, because I'm already far exceeding my goal for making that amount every week, especially for this week. So you should check that out. Okay, so Colgate Palmolive. Let's see who is investing in them, right? So we said about the hedge funds, right? Who are buying up their shares or who might be backing out. that's something to consider. As much as we want to do the right thing and invest in companies that like to do good for the world, they also have to make money in order to make it worth our while, right? So for me, that might be a reason why I would say, okay, yes, it might be a company that's doing really nice things, but I might take a step back and not investing it. So let's maybe try another company for now then, just because Colgate is not doing so well. So the other one was Ecolab. We mentioned Ecolab. So we're going to research them. All right, so Ecolab is, okay, so I remember this is why a lot of people love them. They are concerned about creating solutions to improve hygiene and access to clean water, and then also prevention of waterborne infections. So if you're familiar, if you've worked in like the NGO space, if you've worked with like non-governmental organizations like the United Nations or, I don't know, Charity Water, since that's the most related to this probably, you would know something called WASH, which has to do with like sanitation, hygiene, and access to clean water. Those type of projects is what basically Ecolabs serves. So they're a publicly traded company, which means that they're a for-profit. They're not a charity, but they're still doing the work to make sure that there's access to clean water and proper hygiene for those who need it, which is something that I would definitely get behind. I would support them. So now let's see if we can make money from them. So we're gonna go back to TD Ameritrade. And again, I highly recommend going to TD Ameritrade as your brokerage account for trading, because I just personally have had an amazing experience getting so much information about companies that I'm deciding to invest in, and they really break it down in a way that even the person who's trading for the first time can really understand. All right, so we're going to Ecolab. And their ticker symbol, in case you need it, is ECL, right? All right, so they are trading at a very high price. Their price for a single share of their stock is $228. So you have to come to investing in them with a lot of capital. Just make sure you know that. Let's see how they've been doing in terms of prices over the period of a couple of months, not just days. Let's see. Well, actually, one of the things I like to do is see over a 1-year period how a stock has been doing. And they've been doing pretty well. They've been staying pretty much in the range of between $210 and $228, which is what they're trading right now. And very consistent volume. So it's very steady. It's not like people are flaking, going in and out, or that people are shorting the stock. So let's say your investing goals are that you're not trying to be a day trader. You're not even trying to be a swing trader. You're just trying to find stocks that you put money in and you leave it there, and over time they'll just continue to grow and make you money. I think Ecolab might be a good bet for you just because of the consistency and volume for the most part, and how they've stayed. They've increased gradually over the year, but there's not too much movement. So there's not like a huge risk of loss. It seems like more so like you can definitely go in for a long term and then exit out later on at a high profit. So that's good. That's a good sign. So good. We've probably found our stock, guys. We found our stock that's doing good for the environment, and that's also going to make us money. Okay, so if you're someone like me who's interested in trading options, and I won't go too in depth about what it is because I have a video already on my channel that you can watch about that. But if you like to trade options contracts, you might want to see, okay, is this a stock that I could maybe buy some shares of the company and then sell a contract against it and make even more money. So that's a strategy that I like to use. That's the main strategy that I use to support myself. It's called a covered call. And then let's see. So if you bought 100 shares, if you could afford it, if you bought 100 shares of Ecolab, we have, they're trading, this options contracts are trading at a very high price right now. So let's say if you go long term with it, you can sell options contracts at as high as $270. That's how much money you can make on it. Oh, sorry, I'm lying. That's the strike price. You can sell it for as much as $1,030. So you buy 100 shares of Ecolab, which I can't do the calculations right now in my head. Hold on. Let's bring out our handy dandy calculator. I know it should be easy. It's 100, but I'm lazy. So 228. So that's 22 grand that you spend on it, right? And then you can go back and forth with selling contracts for $1,000.30 right now, at least, if you have that money. So that's a pretty good deal. So what I would do if I was doing options contracts, and again, I'm not going into depth about how this works. If you are interested in that, either A, go to my YouTube channel and watch the videos about that, and or B, you can hire me actually for one-on-one consultation on how to think this through. But you could basically, instead of shorting the stock, you can short the options contracts and start accumulating income that way from just holding this one stock by selling options contracts over and over again. Especially at this price, you'll be making $1,000 approximately per contract, which is not bad, but you have to have 22 grand in order to do that. So if you were hoping that you would find a stock that is ethical that you could invest in, well, I think we found one for you. So congratulations to that. Now, it's one thing for a company to say on their website, this is what we do and this is what we care about. It's another thing to see if there's any kind of negative press that came out recently about them not really doing what they promised to do. So now if you wanted to just follow up and make sure that this company, for example, Ecolab, is truly going about water sanitation the right way, that is respectful to people and that's respectful to the environment. Welcome, everyone. If you want to make sure that this company is doing something that is not getting into any controversy around what they're claiming to do, which is helping the environment and providing access to clean water and hygiene to people who need it, that's where the Google alerts come in again. So you set up your Google alerts for Ecolab. This is definitely a company I'm going to follow, I'm interested in. So I'm going to put that in my Google alerts so that I get news at least once. You can do it for once a day, or you can do it for once a week. So if you do it once a week, you usually get all the news that happened during the week on Friday at the end of the week. But if you want to be able to act on information much quicker, you can have news alerts come to you every day as it happens. So you can just do that. And so that whenever there's a scandal, God forbid, with the company that you care about and invested a lot of money in, you can get that alert and make your decision as you see fit. Okay, so the last company that we mentioned before we wrap up for today was... Oh, there was 4 actually. We said Kimberly-Clark and we said International Paper. I'll give you guys a couple of seconds in the chat to tell me which one I should do. Either International Paper or Kimberly-Clark. Otherwise, I'm just going to choose one. So let's wait and see. You guys have 30 seconds to tell me. Again, the options are International Paper or Kimberly-Clark. Okay, let's go with Kimberly-Clark. Oh, sorry, not Kimberly-Clark. Let's go with International Paper. So, International Paper, what are they about? It is the world's leading producers of fiber-based packaging, pulp, and paper, serving over 25,000 customers in 150 countries. All right, I'm not exactly sure how that leads to anything ethical, so I'm going to go into their website and see if we can dig a little bit deeper and see what exactly it is that's important about that. Okay, it's right there. It's Vision 2030. We believe in a better future is possible. The fact that it's right there on their homepage could be a very good sign, because that means that this is something that they really care about, and they want to make sure that you know that they care about it. We believe a better future is possible. Our 4 Vision 2030 goals will help us drive sustainable outcomes for people and communities, the environment, and our customers. So let's dig deeper into that. The page is just loading. Oh no, don't do that again. Sometimes the internet is, or maybe it's just my tablet, is just acting funky. So what I'll do is I'll go on my phone, my other phone, and see if I can read it from there. So we're going to internationalpaper.com/vision 2030. Okay. All right, so here's their plan. So it's definitely environmentally focused. They care about making sure that they're not tearing down forests. So one of their first major goals is to make sure that they're a healthy and abundant forest, to make sure that we, just because we're producing paper, that we don't get rid of those trees. Promoting safe work environments for the people who are their employees. That might be important to some people. Improve our climate impact and advance water stewardship. So that's good. So it's not just even about maintaining forests, it's also about water preservation. So that's kind of something that they don't have to do, but that's one of their priorities. And then renewable solutions. So low carbon footprint approaches to producing their products, which is something I really love, because even if you're saying, okay, we're going to recycle our materials and make paper out of things that are recycled and not just cutting down trees, the factories that you're using to produce your products can also be leaving a carbon footprint because they're polluting the air, right? So this is good. This is some important goals for a lot of people. Might be important for you, and it was right on their homepage. So this is something that they put front and center to make sure that you knew that they cared about. So now let's see if they can actually make us money. So far, Ecolab was good with that. Ecolab said, yes, we can help you make money, or at least TD Ameritrade said that. But now let's see about International Paper. All right, so going back to our search bar again, and we're searching International Paper. Their ticker symbol is IP if you are taking notes. They are much more affordable than Ecolab. So $52.90 is where they're trading at right now, in case Ecolab's price was scary to you. Over the past year, they too, like Ecolab, have had consistency in the volume of people buying their stock, or at least trading it, because there's some buying and selling, but it's been pretty steady, so that's a good sign. And even while being steady, it seems like around the 6 to 7 month mark, they hit their 1 year high, and then it's gradually been going down. So that might be worrisome to some. The highest that they reached seems like it was a price of around $62, but now they're back down by at least $10. And it seems like it's just been a gradual decline since that high. So that might be something that might be concerning, and we want to dig a little bit deeper to figure out why that is. Now, again, some of the reasons that could be possible is, what are the hedge funds doing? Remember, we mentioned that. So we want to see which hedge funds are investing in companies like International Paper and Ecolab for two reasons. Number one, because we want to know when they're selling off and when they're buying in, because that's going to affect how much money we make off of these companies. But then also number two, we want to know who these hedge funds are, because in the future, when we're trying to do research and find ethical stocks or companies to invest in, we'll know that these hedge funds are usually the ones that are finding them for us. So they do the homework for us and we just follow what they do. We do a little bit more digging to just make sure that we're truly aligned and this is something that we really want to invest in, but they do the most of the homework for us. All right, so International Paper, maybe we would be a little bit concerned because there's been a gradual decline. I don't see a pattern in which they declined and then went back up again. It seems like it was just a gradual uptick and that was a gradual decline again. So maybe we go to the 5 year and see if that's the case. And yes, if we go to the 5 year, then this is a pattern. So this will actually probably be a good time to buy International Paper, because at least according to this 5 year graph, if you're just looking at the pattern of the graph, when it hits around $52 or $50, I mean, it's gone lower in the past, but usually around then it goes back up again. So you're going to buy it at a low price right now, relatively speaking. And then as the uptick happens, you just, maybe when it gets to like around $60, $62, you sell off and make your profit and hold on to it. So again, if you're a long-term investor, not someone who's a day trader, not even a swing trader, I think you would have to wait a while with this one. This could be a good option for you. I forgot my disclaimer. I'm going to put it at the bottom or in the beginning of this video. But let me just say it out loud for those of you listening on IG Live that I am not a financial advisor, or I'm not your financial advisor. This is strictly for entertainment purposes only. No information that I am giving right now should be construed as a directive for you to either buy or sell any of the stocks that I am mentioning in this video. So yeah, that's it, guys. It was so nice to see everyone again, and I'm going to be doing Tea on Tuesdays a lot more consistently. So live every Tuesday. Welcome to everybody who's coming in late, but we're actually about to shut down now. Every Tuesday, I'm definitely going to go live on Instagram and do these analysis with you and figure out which companies we're investing in and why, and then put it back up on YouTube for you to watch the replays. And then on Fridays, I will do just general advice, investing advice. Right now, I'm doing like reaction videos to advice that I find on YouTube. So I've already have one up there right now that's about the reasons why you should bootstrap your business rather than relying on people to come and give you investment dollars. And I show you how you can bootstrap your company by making money off the stock market. So if you're interested in that, definitely watch that as the next video after this one. Otherwise, I will see you all again next week, Tuesday. Happy trading.